Charting Toward Intimacy covers mature topics. Listener discretion is advised. If you're waiting around for your husband to pursue you while doing little to pursue him, that is a problem. Passivity is quietly killing connection in so many marriages, and probably in yours too. In this episode, we call it out and show you exactly how to pursue your husband in simple, practical ways that build respect, increase desire, and reignite mutual attraction. Welcome to Charting Toward Intimacy, the podcast for Catholic women that helps you improve your sex life, strengthen your marriage, and embrace God's design for love. My name is Ellen Holloway, and joining me is my semi-regular co-host, Kathleen Chovanes. Let's talk first about the lie that rom-coms have given us, that men are the pursuers and women are pursued.
Yeah.
It's a total lie. It's a total lie. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to take that back. It's not a total lie.
It's a partial lie.
It's a partial lie. It's a partial lie. It's a lie in the way that Hollywood has taken it. Of in a relationship, the man should pursue and the woman should be pursued. Now, here's the reason why it's not a total lie. Is Jesus always pursues us. We are always pursued by Jesus. Our relationship with God, which is the most perfect relationship that we have, and God wants to perfect it even more every single day. That relationship, we are constantly the pursued, not the pursuer, right? And Jesus is the pursuer. God is pursuing us. And so it feels actually quite natural, particularly for women, but I think for men too. It feels quite natural in a relationship as deeply intimate as a marriage to simply sit and wait to be pursued. And that's where the lie comes in, is that our human relationship, what's the point of marriage? The point of marriage is to teach us about our relationship with God. I mean, there's lots of points of marriage. I'm just going to focus on this one. And in our marriage, we can learn how to have a better relationship with God through our relationship with our spouse. And so that means your husband should be showing you how God pursues you. But that's not what we're going to talk about in this episode, because you need to show your husband what it means to be pursued as well. That's part of your role.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to talk about in this episode.
Yeah. And I feel
you can change that.
You can change that. And I feel like what you said is true, that, I think it's natural for men to take, who are, sort of the physical, they have the physical qualities of Christ, right? And so I think it's natural for them to feel the call to pursue a woman or their wife, right? But it's not as natural for women to feel that same call. And so I think, honestly, if you're anything like me, you just forget. You really, it's not an intentional, I don't like you, I don't want you, I don't desire you. It's just this feeling you are sitting there, just kind of waiting to be pursued, forgetting that it is also your job to pursue. And so I think, just finding a way, and usually when I'm super forgetful, right? I'm a very forgetful person, very disorganized, very forgetful. And when I pinpoint these sorts of things in my life where it's you know what, I really need to remember to do this more, or to remember to think about this more, I usually ask the Holy Spirit to remind me, right? It's just kind of you can always set up reminders in your phone and stuff like that for random times in the day. Which if you want to do, great. Every day at noon, hey,
totally works. Pursue
my husband today, right? How are you pursuing your husband today? You could do that. Again, I struggle with organization, so I usually end up asking the Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, please remind me to intentionally love my husband today, to find a way to show him I love him, to pursue him in a way.
Oh my gosh, I've got to tell you, I've got to share a story of, this is one of the students in my Want It and Enjoy It program right now, the cohort that I'm running right now. And she just shared this win with me, and I was like, oh, this is such a good win. Is that she was cooking dinner and just got this desire, this small desire to kiss her husband. And normally, like, she's in the middle of cooking dinner, right? We all know that feeling.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like, oh, whatever.
Everyone stay away from me.
I'd love to kiss my husband right now, but I don't have time for that. Like,
Yeah.
totally normal to be like, nah, I'll do that later, right? But she stopped what she was doing, like, paused, walked over to her husband's office. Like, this wasn't even just like he was there. And she gave him a kiss. Yeah. She stopped what she was doing, walked over to her husband's office, gave him a kiss, you know, hey, love you so much, and then went back to cooking dinner. Like, these are the kind of things we're talking about. It's not like, oh my gosh, you need to like create a balloon arch and, you know, welcome him home from work with a fanfare and like hire a string quartet for date night. Like, this is not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
These are very simple things that cost $0, right? It cost her $0 to go walk over to her husband's office. But like, that is intentional pursuit.
Yeah.
And that is what we're talking about.
Yeah. I know, like, when we are thinking, like, well, how do I do this? Like, what are the things that matter? I think there's a couple things. Number one, we talk about all the time, love language, right? Like,
Yes, we love love languages.
We love love languages, but know your husband's love language, right? And think through that lens, right? So if he's a physical touch guy, okay, maybe that kiss is like that just like inflated his, you know, like he was just like floating on air, right?
Floating on air, you're right.
Yeah. Maybe if it's acts of service, right? Take the trash out for him that night, right? Maybe it's his job, but like, hey, love you so much. I got this today. You know, whatever. Just think through the lens of their love language. I think that's huge. And, you know, this is a topic that's been big in my marriage, right? That's just like a big struggle that we've had is like my pursuit of my husband and remembering to do it. And, you know, I kind of just like take him for granted and just like, you get caught up in, you know, raising kids and the busyness of life. And it's just like these things just don't feel natural to your day. But the one thing that I've really learned through all this is that they want so badly to feel respected, right? Yeah. So like that's like a man in a way, like a woman wants to feel loved. A man wants to feel respected. So ask that question, right? Like, how can I show him respect, appreciation? How can I show him affection, right? That I see him. I see what he does. I see how hard he works. You know, I see him in his fullness, and I love and respect, you know, everything he does, who he is. What is it that you can do to show that, to get across that feeling of respect, right? And we have a great resource that I have used personally, because I really struggle with sort of like the creativity of like, okay, well, what can I do today? What are these things? There's a great book series. It's 2 books. It's called Wife in Pursuit. And then there's also Husband in Pursuit. And I think Ellen can link in the show notes. But
yeah, they're in our Amazon book list.
In our Amazon book list. Perfect. So it's by Ryan and Selena Frederick. You can do it on your own. Like, you can get the Wife in Pursuit book and just do it on your own, or you could do it in tandem with each other, where you each get a book. And if you do that, where you do it together, the challenges for each day line up so that, you know, but it's a 31-day challenge to intentionally pursue and love your spouse. And I will tell you, when I started going through this book, and started kind of like trying to do, I wasn't perfect with it, but when I started trying to follow through, my husband noticed. And he was so grateful, so appreciative. He said he felt so much more loved. And it's all through a Christian lens. So there's like little Bible readings, and then connecting the idea of pursuit to your relationship with Christ and prayer, and then translating that into pursuit of your spouse. It's a beautiful way to kind of go about it, I think.
Yeah. I love the idea of having some resources, like in case you're just like, I don't even know where to start, right? Like, sometimes that can just be really helpful to just like have some ideas. Here's another one, and this one's free.
Love that.
Are you ready? Are you ready for what I'm going to recommend? What do you think I'm going to recommend?
What are you going to recommend? I don't know.
ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
I want you to go on ChatGPT and I want you to be like, hey, I want to pursue my husband more. What are 10 things that I could do this week? Like, what are 10 small $0, zero cost things that I could do to pursue my husband? Or be like, I want to send like text messages to my husband every day. Like, give me a couple of ideas. And you don't have to like verbatim do what ChatGPT does. It's just giving us some ideas. Like, sometimes it's so helpful to not start from a blank slate and be like, okay, what are some things that I can do?
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, so here's the thing about pursuing. And I think one of the reasons why it's so easy to like forget is because it's actually really scary to pursue. It's very vulnerable to pursue. We want to be wanted. Like, that feels really good. It feels really good to be wanted. But we don't want to risk wanting.
Yeah.
Like, that seems so, that can be really, really scary. And sometimes you might be listening to this like, I don't think it's scary. I'm going to say it is scary. And that's just like, it's shoved down quite a bit. Like, because we're very good at suppressing our actual feelings. And so I think there can be like, there's a big fear of rejection from our husband. There can be some resentment in our relationship. And we're not going to get into like healing these, because that's not the scope of this episode. I just want to kind of call out these things just to recognize like, this is why you might not be pursuing. And also I want to challenge you to pursue anyway. Pursue your husband, even if you feel a little resentful of something. Pursue your husband, even if you don't feel any desire for sex right now. And this doesn't mean that you need to like initiate sex. We're talking about pursuing on a very like broad and general level. You know, this is sending the text message in the middle of the day. This is like when you're at the store grabbing something that you just know he would enjoy, like that bag of chips that he really likes, or a snack that he enjoys. Or, you know, for Kathleen's husband, it's the taquitos from the gas station.
I love that you remember that.
Oh, I remember that. I think about that not regularly. That would be weird. But I'm just like, how does he like those? Those?
He has the palate. He has the palate of a 10-year-old boy, like 100%.
Oh my gosh. I honestly can't get over that. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand how he likes those.
I mean, neither do I, in all fairness. It's like food poisoning waiting to happen, and he's just like, give it to me. Give me all of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry if you're listening and you're like, I actually really love those.
So does Mike Chovanes. So good job, everyone.
So you're good friends. You can be good friends with Kathleen's husband. I think a lot of times we have this belief, right, that desire in any form should be spontaneous. And you should know by now, and if you don't, go listen to any of our episodes about spontaneous desire and responsive desire, that like we have to actively choose desire. And that's what pursuit is here. It's actively choosing to pursue. It's actively choosing to desire our spouse. And it can be done through the small little things. And let me say that choosing to pursue will increase your desire for sex. It will naturally increase your inclination to think about your husband. This is a snowball thing. So like Kathleen was talking about how it's so easy to forget. And so like something really helpful, right, is like pick up that book and do the 30-day plan, right? And be like, I'm doing one of these every single day. Set the reminder in your phone. Like say every day at 12, I'm going to do something to pursue my husband. Because the more we do things like this, it's just going to increase our awareness of ways that we can pursue our husband. The more it's on our mind, we're going to remember more. And the more that we are pursuing our husband, the more that we're going to want to pursue our husband. So like just start with something small. Just make and like decide some amount to do, right? I'm going to do this every day for 30 days. I'm going to do this, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But let it snowball.
Can I give a baby step example?
Yeah.
I know, like we talk about initiating sex. And I think when we're talking about pursuing, initiating sex is the hardest way to pursue sometimes, right? Like
totally.
It is the most
so
vulnerable.
not a baby step.
Correct. Not a baby step. But, I think that for many men, not just my husband, but for many men, I think that their wife initiating sex is like the ultimate pursuit, right? So I want to give, because I am historically uncomfortable initiating sex. I want to give you a baby step that I have learned is really helpful in doing it a little bit more comfortably, a little bit like just again, little step into it, is just not saying anything, not trying anything. All you do is you get into bed naked. That's it. Just don't put any pajamas on. Don't get cozy. Just get into bed naked. Give him a hug. And then just go from there. I think that's been like one simple, again, it involves 0 word from you, right? The language of the body. That's what it is, right? It's the language of the body. You just get in. And it just opens this door, right? It just, without you having to say anything, it tells him, I am open to you, right? Like I am here with you and for you, right?
Love that. Doesn't
so
involve any words.
Doesn't involve any words. That's the best part about it, right?
Yes.
It doesn't involve any physical action. It doesn't involve any words. So if you are someone who's like, oh yeah, my husband would love if I initiated sex more, but like, I'm not doing that. That's too hard. That's like too vulnerable in a way that you can't handle it yet. Simple, easy thing to do. Just take everything off and crawl into bed.
Yep. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about, to close out this episode, we need to call something out. Because if you've been listening to this and you're like, no, but I can't pursue, because if I pursue, then he's not going to pursue me. If you've had that thought, like that thought is from the devil. It is from the devil.
Yeah.
And you need to call that thought out in your own head and say, whoa, not okay. Intimacy thrives in generosity, not in leverage. Pursuing your husband and being pursued is not leverage. That is love. Pursuing. Like, you pursuing your husband is loving him. And your job as a wife is to love your spouse. Like, that is what you vowed, to love. Love is an action. It is not a feeling. Pursuing your husband is one way in which you can love your husband.
Yeah.
And then also why it's a lie is that if you pursue your husband, he's for sure going to pursue you back. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like, if he feels pursued, he's going to be like, oh, she really loves me and she, wants to be around me. And now I'm going to go do nice things for her. Like, this makes me think of, I think I shared this story on the podcast, but I for sure shared it on Instagram. But like, there was this hilarious milk incident with my husband where he left the like tiniest amount of milk in the container. And there were so many thoughts I could have had about this tiny amount of milk in the container. I could have been like, oh my gosh, why would you leave this? Literally like half an ounce, you guys. Like, it was the tiniest amount of milk. It was like this really, really small amount of milk. Right? And some of you heard me say that and you're like, ugh, it's the worst when they do that. I hate when they do something stupid like that and leave the tiniest amount of milk in the fridge.
I did that.
Okay, but then some of you were like, thought nothing of it, right? When that happened to me, my first thought was, oh my gosh, he knew I would probably want to have tea with a splash of milk in it. So he purposefully left the tiniest amount of milk, knowing that that was our last container. Like, we didn't have more milk in the fridge. So there were like 3 different thoughts that I could have had about this tiny amount of milk.
Yeah.
And I chose to have this very, very positive thought. I chose to have this thought that like my husband was pursuing me in this way. And you know what that made me want to do? It made me want to do nice things for him. Turns out it was totally neutral. Like he just measured an amount of milk and like that was what was left, right? And it was just like, so he just put it back in the fridge. It was like totally neutral what happened. But my thought made me want to do more nice things for him.
Yeah.
That is what pursuit does. Like literally throw that thought away. If you're like, but if I pursue him, then I'm going to become the pursuer in our relationship and he's going to get lazy. No, he's not. Like your pursuit of him is going to encourage, like he's just going to want to pursue you, because think about the nice things that your husband does for you. When he does one of those nice things, you're like, oh, well, I want to do something nice for him. You know, like it is this natural, again, I was talking about the snowball thing, right? You pursuing is going to snowball you into wanting to pursue him more. But then also you pursuing is going to snowball into like you and your husband pursuing each other more in your own relationship. So it can feel a little scary. It can feel vulnerable. You might have like a fear of rejection or something like that. But again, start with baby step things. Give him a kiss, you know, pause dinner, give him a kiss, right? Or just, I mean, there's so many little things. Again, I really think like leverage AI for this one. And just be like, give me 50 ideas, right? And like 10 of them are going to be good. Just throw out the ones you don't like. Yeah. And go from there. Start pursuing your husband.
I love it.
Thanks so much for listening. If you have ever gotten any value from this podcast, could you do me a favor really quick? Go into the podcast app that you are listening in. And if it gives you an option to rate and review, please rate and review this podcast. It helps us so much in reaching new listeners and spreading the word about this podcast. Thanks so much for listening.